Hello all, welcome to Pustak Vane, your one-stop solution for books summary. So today we are here with the book named The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. Let's start its plot overview. Arnold Spirit Jr. tells about his early life on the Spokane Indian Reservation. How doctors predicted he would die from complications of hydrocephalus, his being born with excess spinal fluid on the brain. But, of course, Jr. survived. The early condition, however, left Jr. with a lisp and stutter. He had too many teeth and had to have some removed, and he is farsighted in one eye and nearsighted in the other. Worst of all, as a small child he had seizures. Even today, other Indians on the reservation, or, as Jr. calls it, the res, bully him and call him names like Hydro Head. Jr.'s best friend, Rowdy, often promises to protect him, but Rowdy's own violent tendencies sometimes prevent him from being all that helpful. Jr.'s parents are alcoholics and his sister, Mary, spends all her time in the family basement. Jr. loves drawing cartoons, and many of his drawings are included in the book. Rowdy is extremely supportive of Jr.'s art, and Jr. thinks this proves his and Rowdy's friendship. In the summer before their freshman year of high school, Rowdy convinces Jr. to go with him to the Spokane powwow. Jr. is 14. Rowdy promises to protect Jr. from any bullies, but, soon after they arrive, Rowdy trips into a van, embarrassing himself. Rowdy takes out his anger by attacking the van with a shovel, but the vandalism scares Jr. Jr. runs away into a set of mean, drunk, 30-year-old triplets. They push him around and beat him up. Later, to make up for having let Jr. down, Rowdy sneaks into the triplets' camp at night and cuts off their long braids, emasculating them. Jr. sees it as more proof that Rowdy does the best he can. Soon thereafter, Jr. and Rowdy begin their first year at Wellpinit High. Jr. is excited to get started and is especially looking forward to his geometry class. But his geometry teacher, Mr. P, gives Jr. a textbook that Jr. sees was signed by his mother, Agnes Adams, 30 years previously. He throws the textbook in a fit of rage. It hits Mr. P in the face, breaking his nose. After the textbook incident, Jr. is suspended from school. Much to Jr.'s surprise, Mr. P comes to Jr.'s house to apologize to Jr. Mr. P tells Jr. that there is no hope on the reservation, and that the best thing Jr. can do for himself is to get off the reservation as quickly as possible. Mr. P says that Jr. is smart, but that Mary was even smarter and more talented than Jr. until the reservation crushed her spirit. Jr. takes Mr. P advice, and, when his parents come home, he tells them he's decided to go to school in the all-white town of Reardon, some 22 miles from home. Jr.'s parents agree, and he starts school the next day. Because his family is very poor, sometimes without any money for gas, Jr. often has difficulty getting to Reardon. He hitchhikes or gets rides from people like his dad's friend, Eugene. On his first day, Jr. meets his future girlfriend, Penelope. A few days later, the toughest jock, Roger, insults Jr. with a racist joke, and Jr. punches him in the face. Jr. is surprised to find that his action earns him Roger's respect. Then, Jr.'s future friend, Gordy, sticks up for Jr. in class. On the reservation, however, Rowdy and the other Indians feel betrayed. Most react by ignoring Jr., but some are angrier than that. To impress Penelope, Jr. decides to raise money for the homeless while trick-or-treating. But, after Jr. starts going door to door, word gets around that he is carrying money. Jr. gets jumped by 3 boys in masks. Jr. fears that Rowdy is one of them. Penelope finds out and donates money in both her and Jr.'s names. Then, around Thanksgiving, Mary gets married to a Montana poker player she meets at the Spokane casino, and she moves with him to Montana without saying goodbye to her family. Jr. wonders if Mary is competing with him because he managed to get off the reservation. Jr. hears from Mary occasionally thereafter by email and letter. In her messages, Mary says she is struggling to find a job, but she remains optimistic. Later that fall, Jr. tries out for the Reardon basketball team and has to play one-on-one against Roger, who is 6'6" and can dunk. It's a tough matchup, but Jr. holds his own and is rewarded with a spot on the varsity team. Junior's team plays an early game against Well-Pinit on the reservation where the entire crowd turns its back on Junior when his team enters the gym. While Junior is checking into the game for the first time, a fan throws a quarter at him, hitting him in the head. Junior asks Eugene, an EMT, to stick him up in the locker room, but, just after he checks back into the game, Rowdy fouls Junior so badly he gives Junior a concussion. Reardon loses badly, but, weeks later, in the team's next matchup at Reardon, Junior's strong defense leads Reardon to decisive victory. Well-Pinit's season is ruined, and Reardon loses, later, early in the state playoffs. Then the tragedies begin. Junior's grandmother, whom Junior admires for her tolerance and generosity, is struck and killed by a drunk driver as she is walking home from a powwow. A white billionaire named Ted makes a pompous speech at her well-attended funeral, and the Indians laugh him off the reservation. Then, Eugene's friend, Bobby, shoots Eugene in the face over the last sip of a bottle of wine. Later, just when Junior thinks things can't get any worse, the school guidance counselor calls him into the hall to tell him that Mary has died. Junior's dad picks him up from school and tells him that Mary and her husband's trailer caught on fire while the two were passed out from excess drinking. Rowdy blames Junior for Mary's death, but Junior somehow manages to finish the school year and get a decent report card. He and his family begin to heal, and he promises his mom that he will never drink. That summer, Rowdy comes to Junior's house to see if Junior will hang out. The book ends with the two playing a game of one-on-one in the summer heat.